Iowa offers a unique blend of rural charm and vibrant communities, where the serene landscapes and warm-hearted residents create a lifestyle marked by tranquility and camaraderie. With its low cost of living, strong sense of community, and rich agricultural heritage, Iowa provides an inviting haven for those seeking a simpler, more connected way of life. However, in this video, prepare to be shocked as we dive into the underbelly of Iowa. These 10 towns and cities have seen their fair share of hardship, and you won't believe the challenges they face daily. From soaring crime rates to struggling economies, we're delving deep into the darker side of the Hawkeye State. Stay tuned to find out just how grim things can get in these Iowa communities. Before we get to the content, we got this list from ChatGPT and moved them around in the order we think the data supports as to where they land on the list. If you disagree or think we missed out on one that should be on the list, leave them in the comments below. Number 10. Des Moines in certain neighborhoods. Des Moines is located in the center of the state of Iowa and is the largest city in Iowa, with its metro consisting of over 750,000 people. Specific neighborhoods in Des Moines have grappled with significant obstacles, casting them as less appealing places to reside in the state. Information sourced from the Des Moines Police Department and neighborhoodscout.com underlines the existence of elevated crime rates in these areas, surpassing both national and state averages. The data shows from neighborhoodscout.com that Des Moines scores a 6 on their crime score, where 100 is considered the safest. This means Des Moines in general is only safer than 6% of US neighborhoods, according to this website. These safety issues not only impede residents' sense of security, but also diminish the overall quality of life. Census data from the United States Census Bureau reveals that certain pockets of Des Moines contend with poverty rates that exceed the state's average. The poverty rate in Des Moines sits at 15.3% compared to the overall poverty rate of all of Iowa at 11%, underscoring economic hardships and constraints that restrict the opportunities available to residents, thereby impacting their living standards. Additionally, these neighborhoods experience educational disparities, as evidenced by the data from the Iowa Department of Education and niche.com. The difference of Des Moines is you have some of the best and worst schools in the entire state, with 10 high schools in the metro scoring B- or lower, which indicates that local schools have demonstrated lower academic performance. Consequently, these multifaceted challenges within specific Des Moines neighborhoods have cultivated the city's image as being less favored for habitation in the state of Iowa. There is a caveat: there are so many amazing areas to live in Des Moines, but there are definitely problem areas to avoid. That is why we were debating on even including Des Moines on this list, and we couldn't put it very far down the list as there's so many nice places. This is why it's very important to have a trusted realtor or team to help you with making a decision on where to live in Iowa. Us at the Living in Iowa team would love to help you make that smooth move to Iowa, as we know the area as well as anyone. All you got to do is call, text, or email at the information on your screen. Number 9. Waterloo, Iowa, which is located in the northeast part of Iowa with a population of around 66,000 people. Certain areas of Waterloo, Iowa have earned a reputation as some of the less desirable places to live in the state, and this perception is substantiated by data from various sources. High crime rates are a notable concern, with the city's crime index surpassing both the national and state averages. According to data from neighborhoodscout.com, the data from neighborhoodscout.com shows that Waterloo scores a 10 on their crime score, where 100 is considered the safest. This means Waterloo is safer than only 10% of all US neighborhoods, according to this website. This affects the safety and overall quality of life for residents. Furthermore, Waterloo faces economic challenges, with a poverty rate higher than the state average, as reported by the United States Census Bureau. The poverty rate in Waterloo is 16.2%, which is much higher than Iowa's state average of just 11%. These economic struggles limit opportunities and hinder residents' well-being and prospects for the future. According to niche.com and the Iowa Department of Education, some neighborhoods in Waterloo also have lower performing schools, with West High School scoring a B- overall from niche.com and East High School scoring a C+ overall from niche.com, which can impact educational opportunities and the future success of local children. These multifaceted issues in specific areas of Waterloo collectively contribute to its reputation as one of the less favorable places to live in Iowa. all is not lost, as Cedar Falls suburb, connected to the northwest, is a very desirable place to live in Iowa. My wife loved living in Cedar Falls for the years she lived there. Without Cedar Falls and nicer parts of surrounding areas, Waterloo would be much lower on this list. Number 8, Council Bluffs, Iowa, that is positioned on the very west part of Iowa, bordering Omaha, Nebraska, with the Missouri River dividing Council Bluffs from Omaha. Council Bluffs population currently is around 62,000 people. Council Bluffs, Iowa has faced several challenges that contribute to its reputation as one of the less favorable places to live in the state. Data from the Federal Bureau of Investigation and NeighborhoodScout.com reveals that Council Bluffs has experienced crime rates higher than the national and state averages. The data from NeighborhoodScout.com shows that Council Bluffs scores a 6 on their crime score, where 100 is considered the safest. This means Council Bluffs is safer than only 6% of all U.S. neighborhoods, according to this website, which significantly impacts the safety and overall well-being of its community. Additionally, the United States Census Bureau reports that certain areas of Council Bluffs have poverty rates that exceed the state average, with 12.7% persons in poverty in Council Bluffs compared to Iowa in general sitting at 11%. This highlights the economic struggles that limit opportunities and affect living standards. Furthermore, information from the Iowa Department of Education and niche.com suggests that educational opportunities in some neighborhoods may be hindered due to low-performing schools, with Thomas Jefferson High School scoring a C score from niche.com and Abraham Lincoln High School scoring a C+ score from niche.com, potentially impacting the future success of local students. There are 3 high schools that did score B+ or higher, making it not complete wash. These combined challenges underscore the difficulties faced by residents in the certain parts of Council Bluffs, contributing to its reputation as one of the less desirable places to live in Iowa. Again, what is keeping Council Bluffs from plummeting down this list is that there are a number of areas like Waterloo and Des Moines that are downright amazing, putting it above some below that may seem nicer. Before we get to the top 7 on this list, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you are notified each and every time we come out with a new video. Number 7, Muscatine, Iowa, that is positioned on the east side of the state and is the west of the Mississippi River that divides Iowa and Illinois, and has a population of around 23,000 people. Muscatine is still considered in the southeast part of Iowa, but is upriver from Burlington a ways. Muscatine, Iowa grapples with certain challenges that have led to its reputation as one of the less desirable places to live in the state. NeighborhoodScout.com and the Federal Bureau of Investigation reveals that Muscatine crime rates are about slightly below average with the state and national averages. The data from NeighborhoodScout.com shows that Muscatine scores a 21 on their crime score, where 100 is considered the safest. This means Muscatine is safer than 21% of all U.S. neighborhoods, according to this website. The United States Census Bureau reports that specific areas of Muscatine face poverty rates that exceed the state average, with the poverty rate in Muscatine at 15.7%, which is much higher than Iowa's state average of just 11%, underscoring economic difficulties that limit opportunities and living standards. Furthermore, data from niche.com and the Iowa Department of Education indicates that certain neighborhoods in Muscatine have schools with lower academic performance, with 2 high schools of Muscatine High School, which scored a C+ score from niche.com, and Louisa Muscatine High School scoring a B rating from niche.com, affecting educational opportunities and future prospects of local students. These challenges, in particular areas of Muscatine, collectively contribute to the city's reputation as one of the less favorable places to live in Iowa. Overall, there is a beauty and is a little more safe in Muscatine, but still has a lot to work to do on education and poverty rates. Number 6, Burlington, Iowa, that is positioned in southeast Iowa and is west of the Mississippi River that divides Iowa and Illinois. Burlington's population currently is around 24,000 people. Burlington, Iowa contends with a set of difficulties that contribute to its reputation as one of the less desirable places to reside in the state. Websites like NeighborhoodScout.com again in the Federal Bureau of Investigation underscores that Burlington grapples with crime rates that exceed both national and state averages. The data from neighborhoodscout.com shows that Burlington scores a 6 on their crime score, where 100 is considered the safest. This means that Burlington is safer than only 6% of all U.S. neighborhoods, according to this website. This significantly impacts the safety and overall quality of life for its residents. The United States Census Bureau statistics reveal that certain areas of Burlington face poverty rates exceeding the state average, with a poverty rate in Burlington at a resounding 18%. Which is much, much higher than the Iowa state average of 11%, highlighting economic struggles and restrict opportunities and living standards. I have to say, this is very true, as I was a correctional officer in my last job at Anamosa State Penitentiary, and a number of inmates were from Burlington, Iowa. Furthermore, as indicated by data from the Iowa Department of Education and niche.com, certain neighborhoods in Burlington experience lower academic performance in their schools, with Burlington Community High School scoring a C, while West Burlington High School scoring a B, according to niche.com, which can influence educational opportunities and the future prospects of local students. These challenges in specific areas of Burlington collectively contribute to the city's reputation as one of the less favored places to live in Iowa. The natural beauty of Burlington from the Mississippi River draws people from everywhere, but beware of the downside of living here. Now let's get to the bottom half Iowa with number 5, Makoka, Iowa. That is located in the very east central part of Iowa, but not quite to the Mississippi River on the east, and is a smaller town in Iowa with a population of around 6,000 people. Makoka, Iowa grapples with a range of issues that have contributed to its image as one of the less desirable places to call home within the state. NeighborhoodScout.com and the Federal Bureau of Investigation underscores that Makoka contends with elevated crime rates surpassing both national and state averages. The data from NeighborhoodScout.com shows that Makoka scores a 12 on their crime score, where 100 is considered the safest. This means Makoka is safer than only 12% of all U.S. neighborhoods, according to this website, significantly affecting the safety and overall quality of life for its inhabitants. This is more alarming to us, as Makoka is a small town not real close to a large city. This is not typical in Iowa, as most small towns are significantly safer than the cities per the websites we use, and Makoka is only slightly lower in crime rate percentage. The United States Census Bureau statistics reveal that certain pockets of Makoka confront poverty rates that exceed the state's average, with the poverty rate in Makoka at an alarming rate of 18.9%, which is much higher than Iowa's average of 11%, emphasizing the economic challenges that restrict opportunities and living standards. Furthermore, as indicated by data from the Iowa Department of Education and niche.com, specific neighborhoods in Makoka have schools with lower academic performance, with only one high school to attend in Makoka Community High School that is rated by niche.com of a C+ grade, influencing educational opportunities and the future prospects of local students. These intricate challenges in particular areas of Makoka collectively contribute to the city's image as being one of the less preferable places to reside in Iowa. Overall, Makoka is in no man's land, and the data is not nice to this small town. Number 4, Oskaloosa, Iowa. Oskaloosa is located in the center of southeast section of Iowa. This mid to small town is far from a large city as well. Oskaloosa's population is around 11,500 people. Oskaloosa, Iowa unfolds as a complex tapestry of challenges, casting it as one of the less alluring places to call home in the state. Oskaloosa is not free from crime, but it's not as bad as most on this list. It scores a 20 on their crime score, and 100 is considered the safest. This means Oskaloosa is safer than 20% of all U.S. neighborhoods, which really isn't that bad. The United States Census Bureau figures reveal that within the enclave of Oskaloosa, specific pockets grapple with poverty rates that outstrip the state's average, with the poverty rate in Oskaloosa at an alarming rate of 19%, which is much higher and the highest so far, as Iowa's state average is just 11%, which really brings this town down our ranking. In addition, data unveiled by niche.com and the Department of Education illustrates that particular neighborhoods in Oskaloosa host schools marked by subdued academic performance, with the only high school, Oskaloosa High School, getting a grade from niche.com of only a C, imparting a profound impact on educational horizons and future trajectories of local students. These intricately interwoven challenges within specific areas of Oskaloosa form a somber backdrop, collectively contributing to the city's image as one of the less favored places to reside in Iowa. It is deserving of its ranking, in our opinion, due to its high poverty rate compared to cities above it in ranking and its lack of quality education per the websites we used, even though much lower than the others on this list. Number 3, Centerville, Iowa, which is located in south central Iowa, just a few miles south of Lake Rathbun in Iowa. Centerville, Iowa has a population of around 5,300 people. Centerville, Iowa finds itself in the spotlight as one of the less favorable places to reside in the state due to its series of formidable challenges. NeighborhoodScout.com and the FBI highlights slightly below average crime rates. The data from NeighborhoodScout.com shows that Centerville also scores a 20 on their crime score, where 100 is considered the safest. This means Centerville is safer than 20% of all U.S. neighborhoods, according to this website, below both national and state averages, which may seem not so bad comparatively to other places mentioned before, but hold on, as we're not done yet on this one either. Additionally, the United States Census Bureau statistics reveal that specific pockets of Centerville grapple with huge poverty rates that exceed the state average, with a poverty rate in Centerville at an extremely alarming rate of 27.4%, which is extremely high and much higher than the state average of just 11%. And this is all alarmingly worse than really any other place on this entire list. Furthermore, as unveiled by data from niche.com in the Iowa Department of Education, certain neighborhoods in Centerville house schools with diminished academic performance, with Centerville High School getting a grade of B- from niche.com, potentially influencing educational opportunities and the future trajectories of local students. With such bad poverty rate suggesting that jobs are a real issue here in Centerville, we had to go this low with Centerville. Before we get to the armpit of Iowa, if you are watching this and you're probably moving to Iowa or are considering it, I'm going to link another video titled Living in Iowa, Things You Need to Know. Make sure to watch this video as well. Now back to the list, with runner-up, or number 2, is Fort Madison, Iowa. This town is in the deep southeast part of Iowa along the Mississippi River and has a population of around 10,000 people. The only reason this isn't number 1 to me is because the stats aren't as bad as number 1 on this list. Before we get to the stats, the reason it is number 2 over the town cities above it on this list is because the housing in this mid to small town is absolutely horrible, if you ask me. When you drive through it, it is as rough as it comes here in Iowa. Comparable to number 1 on this list, if not worse. Another reason it is known for its highest level maximum security prison in the entire state of Iowa. There are 2 prisons that are labeled New Fort Madison and Old Fort Madison. One is outside the city that is newer within the last 5 to 10 years, and then there is the Old Fort Madison prison that is condemned, has a horrible vibe, and is an eyesore to the city. The old prison is left due to now being a museum and tourist attraction, but man oh man, after being a correctional officer myself, I'm out on this city altogether, and I probably will never tour the prison ever. Who knows, maybe in time I'll change my mind, but currently I have no desire to tour the old penitentiary. Now to the stats, as Fort Madison, Iowa grapples with a myriad of challenges that have contributed to its perception as one of the less desirable places to reside in the state. NeighborhoodScout.com and the Federal Bureau of Investigation reveal that Fort Madison faces crime rates significantly higher than both national and state averages. The data from NeighborhoodScout.com shows that Fort Madison scores an 8 on their crime score, where 100 is considered the safest. This means Fort Madison is only safer than 8% of all U.S. neighborhoods, according to this website, significantly impacting the safety and overall quality of life for its residents. This is alarming due to its population size. The United States Census Bureau reports that certain areas within Fort Madison experience poverty rates that surpass the state average, with the poverty rate in Fort Madison at a rate of 14.9%, which is higher than Iowa's 11% average. Underlying economic struggles that limit opportunities and living standards, despite the prison giving this city more jobs than most cities of this size. Additionally, Data from niche.com and the Iowa Department of Education shows that Fort Madison is not known for its education, with niche.com grading Fort Madison High School at a C grade, thus affecting educational opportunities and the future prospects of local students. Overall, Fort Madison has little to offer, and in my opinion, truly is the armpit of Iowa. I would not want to live here. Now we are going to the worst of the worst Iowa has to offer. Before we get to it, make sure to support our channel, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you get notified each and every time we come out with a video. Also, if you are moving to Iowa or considering it, reach out to us by calling, texting, or emailing the information on your screen right now. Now let's reveal number one, and that is Kakak, Iowa. And it is definitely deserving of our worst of the worst on this list. Kakak is positioned in the farthest part of southeast Iowa, where it borders both Missouri and Illinois. The population of Kakak currently is around 9,600 people. Kakak rivals Fort Madison with rundown buildings and homes. The reason that it settles at the bottom of the barrel is the data. So let's get straight to it. Kakak, Iowa faces a range of challenges that have contributed to its standing as the least desirable place to live in the state. NeighborhoodScout.com and the FBI illustrates that Kakak tends with crime rates significantly higher than both national and state averages. The data from NeighborhoodScout.com shows that Kakak scores a 6 on their crime score, where 100 is considered the safest. This means Kakak is safer than only 6% of US neighborhoods according to this website, which is on par with larger cities, and that is straight up alarming. The United States Census Bureau's statistics reveal that specific areas within Kakak experience poverty rates exceeding the state average, with a poverty rate in Kakak at 20.4%, which is much higher than Iowa state average of 11% and number 2 on our entire list, underscoring economic difficulties that restrict opportunities and living standards. Moreover, data from niche.com and the Iowa Department of Education highlights that certain neighborhoods in Kakak house schools with lower academic performance, with Kakak High School getting a grade of C+ from niche.com, affecting educational opportunities and the future prospects of local students. Overall, Kakak is run down, has high crime rates, poverty rate is incredibly high, and has below average education. I don't believe it is close, as I would rate Kakak number 1 based on the data and seeing the town. Let me know in the comments your input on this list.